It is NFL Draft Weekend in Philadelphia, and for teams, it's a chance to beef up their rosters. For players, it can be a lifelong dream. No one knows more about these players than ESPN college football analyst Kirk Herbstreit. I had a chance to talk to him heading into the first round. Let's take a listen. And there's no one better to ask about draft day excitement than Kirk Herbstreit, of course, one of college football's most famous faces. Welcome, Kirk. Great to see you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what these very young men are feeling on a day like today, knowing that their dreams are right around the corner.
Well, as you can imagine, I think it's very surreal. A lot of these guys, whether they're growing up in Florida or anywhere in the country, since they were probably 5 or 6 years old, they've been thinking about not only college football, but the ultimate dream is trying to be able to go out and play in the NFL and make a living and playing a sport that they love. And now it's become a reality for some of these guys. And if you're a first rounder, you've been thinking about going out and buying that suit and walking across the stage and shaking the hands of Roger Goodell after your name's announced. And I think the biggest thing is you finally have some clarity. Your college career is over. You've been lifting weights for the last 3 or 4 months, and you just want to be able to at least belong to a team and know where your life is headed. So I think that's probably the most exciting thing, is they're actually going to belong to a team and be able to get focused on how they might be able to help that team out and see how quickly they might be able to fit into that team's plans.
All right, well, speaking of teams, of course, a lot of Tampa Bay Bucks fans here and also a lot of Seminole fans. So we're talking first round here. I know Dalvin Cook at the top of a lot of people's lists. What do you think a player like that has to offer?
I think he could be the steal of the whole draft. I'm not just saying that because I'm on with you here in Tampa. I think Dalvin Cook has what it takes in today's NFL to be a featured back and do a lot of great things. He can run the ball on first and second down. He's got great hands. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's as tough as any back I've covered. I've been following this guy since he was a true freshman when he came out of Miami and played for the Seminoles and helped them get to a national championship game. And the guy just has one of those kind of competitive spirits that you want on your team. And with some of the issues with Doug Martin, if Tampa Bay gets an opportunity to go out and get Dalvin Cook to play with Jameis again, to go with Deshaun Jackson and some of the other players that they have, that would be a dynamic offense. And I think he's talented enough and intelligent enough to be able to fit in right away as a rookie. So if the Bucks are lucky enough to have Dalvin Cook on the board when they select, I would hand that ticket in very quickly and say we want Dalvin Cook.
And you know what? Even the Gator fans who are Bucks fans might have to play along and agree with that matchup. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. All right, I do
need to. That'll be hard, but they'll have to. Yeah.
You got to cross over eventually. I got to give Gator fans a little time here. And actually, it's been a stressful week with Caleb Brantley. How do these off-field issues still play out on big weekends like draft?
Yeah, that's a great question, Stephanie, because, it depends on what the situation is, how much merit there is to it. You'd be shocked to see the investigative abilities of the NFL and these teams. They go deep. They talk to anybody and everybody to be able to really find out what the real deal is with a story. They don't just read something on Twitter or hear a story. They obviously do their due diligence because they're about to make a big investment. I was shocked to see that story, especially the timing of it. It seems like the last few years we've had more and more of this surfacing the week of the draft, which I think a lot of us kind of scratch our head as to wonder why these things come out the way they do. But they definitely have an impact depending on the merit and how much truth there is to these stories.
Well, we certainly wish all these young men the best of luck. All right, well, obviously some of those predictions not coming true because the Bucks took O.J. Howard. Sorry, Bobeth. Dalvin Cook's still out there. We'll find out more in round 2. But Linda, you lived in a football coach's household on draft day. What was this like?
Well, they all got together. So all the wives got together because the tension was so extreme. And we'd go shopping and wait till it was all over. And then if they came out well, they were really happy. They didn't worry about the money. If it didn't go well, then we had to take some of those things back.
Wow.
That's so funny.
That's a different perspective.
All right, well, we'll continue to see that draft develop over the weekend. I know Bobeth's pulling for those Florida State guys.
Oh, no first rounders.
All right, coming